Hello, I am Dr. Paul Fraley. I like to call this video Magic and Mysticism. I'm thinking of beginning a podcast on this topic. That's probably what I call it. For all those people who are not interested in that sort of thing, I advise you not to tune in. Unless you're one of those freaks who like to throw stones at people. You live in glass houses. Well, go ahead. I don't care. But the topic of philosophy must come up when discussing magic and mysticism. I don't believe in casting anymore. I don't cast. I study. I study the topic of the occult. And mysticism is basically a religion. You believe in certain things and pray a certain way. Unfortunately, I'm stuck in a Silver Birch apartment complex, or should I say Silver Birch prison, with all these restrictive rules. Can't burn candles. You can't burn incense. No, you can't have a weapon hanging on the wall. On and on it goes. Old Biddy, what's-her-face, has been yelling at you again and threatening to bust your ass. Well, don't come to me crying about it, and don't tell me she needs to see a psychiatrist. I don't care if you had 3 years of psychology. Okay, fine, I won't complain anymore, I'll ignore it. But I swear to God, I'm surrounded by basket cases, and I can't say too much about the people who run the place. Anyway, on the topic of magic, I would say that as a vocation, it is something that is done to fill one's time and to control your own thinking. Some people are obsessed with controlling the thoughts of others. You can actually do that to a small extent, It's not too hard if you are gifted with telepathy. I mean, many people are. They don't realize it because they never develop it. So in saying that, that's what I have to say about magic. But on mysticism, I would say that, again, we're delving into the area of religious thinking. Myself, I had 3 years of psychology, Ball State Ivy Tech. I can tell you that right now, the world is not controlled by religious people. It's controlled by atheists. So if you're in the crowd where you're into religious thinking, well, good luck, But more power to you. I mean, you really should be able to do your own thing, especially if you're in the United States. Here they claim to be free. Free thinkers are usually frowned on. If you don't follow the crowd, you're in trouble. You basically have to be an isolationist today to practice your own faith, to be different, to stand out. It's not usually encouraged if you're doing it too publicly, especially if you're anti-woke, which I am. I don't believe in homosexuality. I don't believe in a lot of things. I don't believe in reincarnation. I'm not going to pat you on the back and say, hey, good for you, you'll come back in the next life as a lampshade or whatever. I don't involve myself with reincarnation people. If you really believe in that, that's fine. But I think what you're doing is wearing rose-colored glasses, to be quite frank about it. Once you die, you're dead. You're not coming back. Maybe there's something to this business of the Christian faith where you will come back as a spirit person. But really, Christianity's not about coming back in the flesh. It's about coming back in God flesh. I mean, if it's true, then great. I think there's a possibility that there may be some truth to it. But really, you got a long wait. You're going to wait forever before you come back. So that's what it seems like anyway. They say, well, we're living in the last days and everything, and they might be right, but guess what? That time period might be stretched out over a century. And say you die, you've paid your dues, you become a good person, and you're no longer around anymore except for a headstone. Don't think, good morning, don't think like some of these witches that when you come back, you get to come back as a black cat or some other fantasy. Because to me, that's all reincarnation is a fantasy. I don't want to offend anybody. I have my own personal belief systems, and I'm not an atheist. I am actually a cosmicist. I have a degree, a doctorate in divinity from the Universal Life Church. I went ahead and did the mail order thing and filled it out, and that was my training from them. And then everything else I had to do myself by going to college here at Ball State and learning religious studies, which didn't last very long, but I didn't do too bad. A C plus, I think is what it was, if I remember correctly. So as far as religion is concerned, from my college days, it's just I was a C average student. But at least I also am a C average student in psychology. So I'm well-rounded. And unfortunately, none of this matters when you weigh it against what Richard Dyer, is saying about me in print, which in my opinion makes him guilty of libel. He calls me gravely disabled, which is a bunch of nonsense. I was able to talk rationally to him about what was going on and everything. But what I was facing was an army of people accusing me of things from my own family. They are estranged from me because they're not much of a family. They're horrible people. Odious, stupid, and sneaky, conniving, always up to no good. That's the majority of them. Not all of them are like that, though. I've got a few gems in this bucket full of rubble and trash. But I don't want to pick out individuals, say this person did this other person did that. I'm not going to do that. But one thing I will say they did was they railroaded me when I became mentally disabled because I was having a mental breakdown because of all the stress I was under. Oh, you have the perfect opportunity. Let's stab him in the back. That'll be fun. Yeah. We got to sell the house, not money, Paul. Sorry, you got to pay Mom's bills. Oh, yeah. By the way, we're going to stick you in this place like a nursing home because you're extreme age and we think you're mentally disabled and you're a cripple anyway, so who's going to miss you? Yeah. Boot. Good riddance. That's basically their attitude. And I wouldn't give 2 nickels for their ass through the people who did this to me. But I will eventually get out from under it, and I will consult with an attorney and get the advice of an attorney on what to do. See, I'm not totally inept. I guess you could say I was a C plus student in psychology. And as far as religion is concerned, I've been studying religion all my life. I don't mind using the title doctor because I'm not someone who has his own ministry yet. I got it through Universal Life Church. I don't think I can start a church at this point in my life. So why call myself a reverend or a pastor or a minister? But I did get the degree. I did get the doctorate, so I might as well call myself a doctor. I'm thinking of switching from YouTube to a podcast because it's just more convenient for me. And at some point later on, I might have guests on, who know certain topics. And after a point in time, I will consider it a done deal, like I'm going to be doing with YouTube. Something I won't be involved with anymore. I'll be moving on from one project to another. It was principally because I'm an author and a writer. I have my own projects to work on, and I have to have my time devoted to what I'm doing that I consider important, such as trying to sell a few books here and there. Before I give up, before I say, oh well, life's over. I've decided that's not quite time to do that yet, but if that time does come, and eventually it will because of my old age, I'll just adapt. I will roll with the punches. That's what I've always done. So, I do have quite an extensive, vast array of knowledge at my mental fingertips in my head. And I do like to read a lot, which is where I get most of this stuff. So it's been a pleasure educating the public, especially about mystical beliefs. Might be touching on in the future is mystical artifacts and magical theories, what was behind magic. I like to discuss that topic, which is an interesting intellectual topic, in my opinion. And I don't think I'm doing anything shady. I don't think I am doing anything crazy, like I'm imagining all this. Because if I am, so is Nat Friedland and people like Sybil Leek. I mean, all those people are on the same boat as me, if that's true. Dr. Dyer was categorizing me as someone who's going into fantasy land because I believe in magic. Trying to make them understand this is a religious belief. Lots of people believe in this stuff. I'm a Christian mystic. I have a right to believe in what I believe in. It's not fantasy. It's not a mental illness, which he's trying to categorize it. Probably because, I don't know this for a fact, probably because he is some kind of atheist. And the whole family ganged up on me, and he doesn't know what to think about it. And he has to draw a conclusion, because apparently there's some kind of legal situation developing from it. And what I have to end up doing is create another legal situation, because my mother, who wanted to have me put away, is actually put away herself now. She is suffering from severe dementia, which she had for many years prior to me coming down with mental illness from my breakdown, my episode. And it was caused by her and the whole family. You can get technical about it. But then there's, of course, my struggles socially because of being treated cruelly by the pastor who used to pastor my church, who was guilty of mental cruelty. I just had to accept it and, take my lumps. And I got sick of it. Back in my youth, I got sick of the Baptist church because they wouldn't accept what I was telling them. They had a different opinion of what reality was. I used to have visions of demonic entities, and they thought, well, you're crazy. How can you say that if you are someone who's a Christian and you profess belief in God? Don't you understand there's a devil too? And to them, it's not real. They claim to be Christians, but they're doing it as a way of being a good person. That's all Christianity's about, And it's just total nonsense. Christianity is about more than being a good person. You have to actually believe in that book you're reading, that there are supernatural realities. They didn't. So I left the church, left the Baptist church behind. And you can eat my dust. I don't care. Up yours. I don't have a very high opinion of you if that's how you think. I think you're cracked. At least hypocrites, at least. Professing Christianity, not believing in the supernatural realities of an afterlife, either good or bad. You say, I did this to be a good person. A teacher told me that, She was telling me this stuff. What I believed in wasn't real. There are no demons. If there's no demons, there's no Jesus, no God. None of it's real. Because going to church just for singing songs make you feel good and trying to be a good person. No, that person was clueless. And I got so ticked off, I left Christianity behind for a long time before I came back to rubbing shoulders with Pentecostals and apostolics and full gospel people who are not, it's a breath of fresh air to me, for a long time. Then I realized that, they're hypocrites here too. So I got soured in the milk of Christianity a long time ago. But I do believe there's some truth to the book they call the Holy Bible. So if you want to hear me go on about things like that, you can tune in to my podcast, Magic and Mysticism, with Dr. Fraley. I do believe I'm qualified to speak on those topics. I'm college educated, got a college background, have a vast array of experience. I've been in the military, in the U.S. Army. I've been around the block. So basically, that's all I had to say here on this topic. I'm opening up a can of fresh worms here, I think, because I'm getting ready to jump ship from YouTube into the world of podcasts later on, after I move away from Silver Birch apartment complex and illegally disentangle myself from my sister, who has a guardianship, conservatorship, power of attorney, ABC, the whole schmear. They set me up that way. I don't mind because I'm getting Social Security. And I find some moral support from a few people later on. I know what to do. I know the legal steps, and I'll take them. If it hurts somebody and they want to fight in the court of law, I don't care. That's fine with me. But I'm intelligent enough to control my own destiny. And if you're in a situation similar to mine, I advise you to do the same thing. There are certain steps you can take legally. What you want to do is get yourself squared away financially first and make sure that you have a legal leg to stand on by studying the state laws where you live. And basically, this is an introduction to my entrance into the new world of podcasts, from Magic and Mysticism with Dr. Fraley. And I would think that I need some advertisements and showing where I'm at now, instead of just cutting off and taking a dive without realizing, hey, this is a whole audience, my old audience. I would come over and hear what I have to say on the podcast. So that's why I'm ranting and raving, I guess you could call it. Yeah, I won't be talking about myself anymore. I got tired of doing that a long time ago. I like topics like the new sciences that we're into. We're entering a new age of science, alongside of religion and philosophy. These things are very interesting. I didn't do too good at philosophy either at Ball State because it was totally alien. I mean, I expected it to be esoteric, or at least ephemeral in some aspect, but no, they were grounded in logic and science. Boring topics for philosophy, don't you think? I would think I would go along with religion, but no, they wanted to go into subjects like if you build a ship and you disassemble a part of it and leave it over there, and you decide to use the parts of it to build a new ship, is it the same ship? I was more like into phenomenology, not deeply, but touching on that topic in other philosophies that were spiritual and religious. They didn't want any part of that. So I was in the wrong class, apparently. That's why I didn't do too good. But other than screwing up with geology and anthropology, I did pretty good at Ball State. Good college, good professors. Teachers are okay too. So that's a lot of topics to cover. I'm mentioning magic and mysticism. Again, magic is the belief and reliance on spirits and spirit phenomena, while mysticism is more oriented toward philosophy and religion. So that's the definition there. So I wish you adieu, well. I wish you well. I say have a good life. Have a good day. This has been Dr. Fraley of Magic and Mysticism. So for now, over and out. Have a good one.